What's up, everyone? It's Teddy, aka JamesKisau on MTGO. Welcome back for a very special donation bonus league. This week, we are playing a deck sent to me by one of my newest coaching clients. We had connected over the internet not too long ago, about a couple months, I would say, and he contacted me with a kind of interesting proposition, and it would be in-depth sessions on not Grixis Control, not any blue deck at all actually, but 4-color Loam. 4-color Loam is the favorite deck of this person, and he really wanted to get it to a place where it was more competitive. And I'm not sure how much of this was motivated by my How to Play Control series in Legacy, where the third time around I played 4-color Loam, and he saw that video and thought that list was pretty out of date, which, to be fair, I kind of just like cobbled it together from memory of cards that I think 4-color Loam played. Like, oh, I know there's like a Liliana the Veil in there, and oh, Chalice of the Void, yep, throw that in there. So I'm glad that it wasn't a didn't completely put him off from working with me. And now we've done a few sessions, and I think I'm ready to take the deck through a league. In a lot of ways, he's teaching me about 4-color Loam, but also there is the kind of fresh objective eyes on it that I'm providing, hopefully. And we also both play archetypes that are commonly seen as, how do you say, not meta or bad, even though all y'all know I don't believe that is really a thing in Legacy. I think the card pool is vast and powerful enough that as long as your strategy is within reason and sound and you're not being completely irresponsible, you can do a lot of different things in the format. It is very cool for that reason. So, the first thing you might notice about this 4-color Loam deck list that is completely revolutionary and moving more towards the competitive sphere is that there is not 61 cards. There's only 60 cards. That's pretty cool, right? And if we look at the 60 cards within, you'll see a lot of similarities with lands, some similarities with Maverick, but I think what makes 4-color Loam a deck with a very distinct identity is that you are playing a game of attrition in a lot of ways, fueled by the engine of Life from the Loam, which makes use of cards like Wasteland, Urza Saga, Fetch Lands. We even have one each of the cycling lands, Barren Moor and Tranquil Thicket, just to keep that card advantage engine going. We're also playing a card that lands hasn't played in a long time, Punishing Fire. Super powerful card. Banned in Modern, 1 and a red, deals 2 to any target, and whenever an opponent gains life, you can pay red and get it back. Well, that's a nice combo with Go Over the Burn Willows, which you can tap to add red or green, and then each opponent gains 1 life. So, all the micro synergies aside, one thing we've looked at a lot in trying to bring the deck up to a more modern sensibility was looking at new cards. And we talked about Malevolent Rumble a lot, Fable the Mirror Breaker, but for now we've landed on Orcish Bowmasters as kind of a card advantage card, since Dark Confidant was traditionally a big part of this deck and has been feeling a little at odds with the current format. I think Orcish Bowmasters will line up a lot better. And you also get a sweet Green Sun Zenith package in this deck. This deck really does a lot of different things. Knight of the Reliquary, Grist, Keen-Eyed Curator, Gaddock Teague, Collector Roof in the sideboard. This deck really does it all. A lot like Grixis Control in many ways, so we'll take it through a league. I'll hopefully do okay. I know that it is a very difficult deck to pilot, similar to Grixis Control, but I think it has a lot going for it. And I hope you enjoy it, because I think it will be pretty cool. I'll just talk about the sideboard real quick. Toxic Deluge, great sweeper. We've talked about it a lot in the main series on the channel recently. Minsk and Boo, just a great bomb. Does so much stuff. Aggro, card advantage, Tenacious Threat. I love it, especially when you're ramping it out with Mox Diamond. And then this card, I think, is a very inspired choice. Kaya Orzhov Usurper, 1 white-black for a 3 loyalty planeswalker. 3 mana planeswalkers are usually pretty good. This one is no different. +1, you exile up to 2 target cards from a single graveyard, and then you gain 2 life if at least one of them was a creature. -1, exile target non-land permanent with mana value 1 or less. That's Tamiyo, so that lines up pretty well nowadays. And then -5, Kaya deals damage to target player equal to the number of cards that player owns in exile, and you gain that much life. So I guess the idea is that you're just plus oneing, working on someone's graveyard until you can deal a ton of damage with Kaya. And outside of that, just the -1 being able to exile permanents while not losing it altogether. You can do that 3 times before Kaya goes away. I think it's a really sweet card, probably underplayed in the current meta. There's just not a lot of mid-range to control white-black decks going around right now. I know Harmony Woods will always be doing really well in Esper control, but I don't know if she really builds decks with this card in mind, or at least they're not slanted that way. So this seems like a great home for it, and I'm excited to bring it in and hopefully cast it and do some cool stuff with it. Okay, this will be almost as much a learning experience for me as it will be for you, because I think it would take a long time for me to get enough reps on this deck for me to really jump into a league feeling great, and I want to get this out to the world because I think it is a really potent and relevant update to a deck that has not really been in the meta for some time, and I think it displays a lot of really good and careful deck building choices by my client. So I'm excited to play. If you would like to submit your own donation list, please check out the Patreon. It would help a lot. And if you can't do that, like, comment, subscribe, completely free. We're working up towards 2.5k subs. And yeah, let's jump in there. 4-color Loam. Okay, we are on the play for round number 1. I'm looking at this hand and I'm thinking I'm going to mulligan it. There's just not really enough mana to make it work. Yeah, I think we can make do with this. I will keep, and it's probably best to bottom the Keen-Eyed Curator because I don't know if I'll be able to cast it or not. I don't have 2 green. And I suppose I'll lead on Wasteland. Yeah, I think that's right. That way I won't get wastelanded, probably. Basic Island, Ponder. I was ready for Tameo. I have this prismatic ending. See, I'm wondering if I should play the Scrubland or the Bayou. They're both black, but protecting my green source over my white source feels like it could be important. I guess I don't need to do that. I can just play Urza's Saga and grind this blue deck out, hopefully. Of course, they could also be something like Doomsday, and that might be a little more troublesome. But, ugh, what the hell? A blue deck with Urza's Saga. Well, whatever they are, they're probably a better Saga deck than me, because I don't really play artifacts outside of Mox Diamond. Another prismatic ending. Yeah, what do I want to do? I can just treat this like Suspend for a Mox Diamond, waste their Urza's Saga. But right now I'm feeling like my constructs will be better than theirs. And if they're not, I have these prismatic endings. So yeah, we'll see. Not currently sure what I'm up against. Another Urza's Saga? That might be a little too far for me. This could be, Cephalid Breakfast. It probably is not super reliable to... this is funny. Get Knight of the Reliquary in because that's a Swords to Plowshares deck, but it feels like it could be relevant. So let's get a Mox Diamond, discard the Scrubland, cast Knight, at least give myself the option to have a Bajuka Bog ready. They're going to Brainstorm. Well, it resolved. Let's attack. And then I'll just Wasteland this Urza's Saga. Because my Knight is summoning sick and I cannot beat a Shuko. And then the other thing. These prismatic endings are pretty funny. I'd be feeling a lot better if they were Swords to Plowshares. Voice of Victory. Yeah, I don't really care about that one. But maybe I should remove it all the same. Can't attack. Do that. They'll Brainstorm. And then they let it go. Alright. Well, I'll hit for 2. And then I gotta leave the Knight back. So I can get Bajuka Bog. And not lose. Uh-oh. Yep, alright. Called that. Please be Orm's Chant. Please be Orm's Chant. Oh no! Oh no! Is there anything I can do? Not even Wasteland will work. Maybe I was supposed to do that. Was I supposed to do that? Was I supposed to Wasteland that Urza Saga before... Oh, there's no Bajuka Bog in here. What am I talking about? Fuck everything. I should have looked at the deck list. Sorry. Sorry. Oh, I'm losing it. It's only the first game. Let's get Disruptor Flute. Collector Roof is interesting. I don't think it's that good. Leyline is also interesting. I don't think it's that good. But how are they ever going to beat a Leyline? They'll have to, like, play the fair game, which I think we're better at doing than them. Sure, I'll take 3. That's a weird number, but it feels right. Just a really awkward draw. It was like 3 Knights and 3 Prismatic Endings. I don't think we need Maze of Ith for this matchup. Force of Vigor seems pretty good. Gaddock Teague. That stops Dread Return. And Force of Will, of course. Punishing Fire is great. Liliana's okay. The cut's gotta come from somewhere. I know I'm not ever supposed to cut Knight, but it does seem pretty bad against a deck with Swords to Plowshares. But how do I win otherwise? Bowmasters, Punishing Fire, Urza Saga, stuff like that. Chalice on 1 is pretty good. Could also swap the Prismatic Endings for Swords to Plowshares. This is not helping any. I'm doing what you're not supposed to do. You're not supposed to hedge. How about 2 Leylines? There. That's a much more sane number. Teague out. Keen-Eyed Curator's good. How about Caracas? I don't know. No, Caracas is actually making mana. Oh! How about Disruptor Flute? I'm just getting a little bit of everything. It'll be great. Yeah, it's kind of strange, but I think I can make this work. Now the real question is, do I Green Sun for Dryad Arbor on turn 1? I think I'd rather just play this Baron Moor tapped. I already have kind of my Green Sun Zenith in hand. My Green Sun target in hand. So maybe instead... Yeah, I'll get the Dryad Arbor. And I think I get Savannah here. No, it should be Taiga. It's gotta do something on turn 1. I think tapped Baron Moor is not cutting it. No, turn 2 Grist. That's pretty fire. Put a card on top. I can also just cast Keen-Eyed Curator, but I don't know. Let's try and wear them down first a little bit. Could also just Wasteland them. I got Grove and Punishing Fire, that's sick. Alright, Wasteland you. Play Keen-Eyed Curator. Send it back. If they have to spend their turn swordsing this, that's like pretty good for me. Or is it? I'm not actually sure. I'm kind of a fraud. I don't really know how to play 4-color Loam, but I do really enjoy it. Hunter does not shuffle. Another Punishing Fire. I don't know if playing Grist is going to be better than Punishing Fire. Or making Keen-Eyed Curator like a 7/7. So yeah, let's just hit for 3. Delta go. Well, I mean, this is net 1 damage if I do this. So I'll do it. Knight. Can't cast that. Alright. Yeah, maybe I should have been trying to make this a 7/7 instead. Now they know I have Punishing Fire too. The good news is that if they Thought Seize me, like, it's pretty whatever. Dark Amoeba? Chomp. That's 1 down. 2 to go. Brainstorm. Alright, all the pieces are here for Keen-Eyed to become a 7/7. I just don't know if that is good enough. Saga. We're hoping that'll be a little too slow. That's really what we're hoping for here. This feels like Prismatic Ending. Indeed it is. Oh, ass. Yeah. We're close. They're at 10. Land. Yes, I think I'll play Knight here. I should get Scrubland? Or should I just always get more green? I'm leaning towards Scrubland. No, no. How about Savannah? I'm kind of running out of cards. No attack with the Arbor. Or maybe I should have. No, I should hold up Punishing Fire. They have enough mana to combo now. And they're doing something. Nomads. Uh-huh. Illusionist. Well, gotta do this now. Oh, it worked. What's the catch? Do they have another enabler in hand? No? What the hell, man? Something doesn't seem right here. Alright, well, I can only get one of these back right now. I'm gonna try and Punishing Fire this Illusionist. If it doesn't work, I'll Wasteland the Urza's Saga. Ooh, Oracle's exposed? I can't really take advantage of that. I'm thinking I should just Wasteland this thing, though. Well, I'm always playing the Saga here. And I tapped bad, so I can't cast Grist. I'm gonna attack. Wait, no, I shouldn't. I shouldn't. I should Wasteland the Saga. I should give myself every opportunity to actually win this. They could have another Illusionist in hand. But it is very silly that I didn't play the Grist, and it might cost me this game / match. Alright. I hope you really needed that for Shuko. Because I feel like if they had another 1 mana enabler last turn, they just cast it and be pretty happy about it. I mean, they're passing. Chalice of the Void. Not bad. Well, let's see if this attack connects. I feel like that's pretty important. Yes. Well, I'm 1 mana short from being able to Punishing Fire and win. So that's cool. I guess I'll play Chalice on 1. That turns off Shuko and Nomads. I should have thought about that. Like, if I held up the Punishing Fire, that fetch line was kind of in ransom. Hey! I definitely could have won a turn earlier if I didn't tap so weird, but I took a game, and that's honestly good enough for me. On the draw, I think I do want all 4 Ley Lines, and then Chalice becomes a little worse. Do I really need both Force of Vigors too? I hope not. I hope not. This Saga also is probably a little not quite right. It's not quite right core. Could also see Edict being a little inefficient. Yeah, let's lose that one. And give this a shot. I do like this hand. It prevents a fast Goldfish, and they probably really do not want to put up with Punishing Fire if they're going to try and Saga game. And yeah, they're mulling to 5. If they try and chase a Goldfish and I just slam a Leyline, well, I better hope Oracle's in your hand, is all I'm saying. Which it probably isn't, because it's probably in your 7 and you bottomed it. Boom! Sorry. I swore I wouldn't be annoying. Alright, Mox Diamond, I think pretty clearly loses the Baron more. And then we just start going butt nutty on the Sagas here. Okay. Oh, you have Saga. Well, I don't think I'm going to Wasteland it. I think I'm a little ahead here because of the Mox Diamond. They have an Illusionist. I'm going to Punishing Fire that. Another Illusionist hits Exile. Caracas. I'm not sure how good that's going to be. I'm going to space these out. I can definitely discard Caracas to Mox Diamond, though. Alright, no white source. That's big. I'm going to grab Taiga. No, Savannah. No, Taiga. No, Savannah. Fuck. Ugh. I'm going to Taiga. And that's probably the wrong choice. A lot of forgiveness with this Mox Diamond card. Tell you what. Chalice? Oh my god. I'm still making a construct. Well, I guess I could do both. Because I'm going to get a Mox here. Discard Caracas. Place this Saga. And then play Chalice on 1. That would make Swords to Plowshare is a pretty sad draw, but it would also make Swords to Plowshares a pretty sad draw for them. Alright, I'm prepared to lose by them getting Shuko. Or wait, no, they don't have enough mana to cast Illusionist and then also Oracle from their hand. So I think we're good this turn. They got the Shuko. They're up to something. They have a white source. Stoneforge Mystic. For another Shuko. A second Wasteland. Well, I'll play that one out. And then go ahead and send in here. No block before damage. I will make a construct. That will put them to 3. And just kind of have to hope we don't lose here. But I don't think they have enough mana to pull this off. Hey, we got there. Close one. Gotta say, I felt powerless in game 1. And then powerful after that. Welcome back for round 2. Being on the play is very nice in this deck. And it's the first appearance of the titular Loam. Is a Chalice on 1 on turn 2 good enough? I also have Grist. I don't have a Wasteland. This hand doesn't do that much, but I don't know what I'm up against. And Chalice could be really good. I could also just play Chalice on 0, but that seems a little hasty. If they mulligan down to like 5, I might actually consider it. One thing I'm going to have to try my best not to do this league is try and get my Dryad Arbor off of Green Sun Zenith while there's a Chalice on 1 out, because it will get countered. And that would be very embarrassing. Alright, after some tanking, they kept on 7, so let's just see how this develops, huh? Polluted Delta. Okay. Well, it's probably pretty important to surveil here. Nah. I think I'll be able to cast that eventually, thanks to Loam. And I probably want to develop some colors too. Alright, Chalice on 1. Traditionally quite good against blue decks. I'm expecting a Force of Will here. I hope I don't get dazed. Oh, Volcanic Island? Spell Pierce? What the hell, man? Is this Sneak and Show? Yeah. It's stock up. Alright. I know how to play this. This was in one of our training matchups, and I know never to cast Knight of the Reliquary. I put that in off show and tell. Problem is, if they have sneak attack, yeah, that's just a problem. Mazavith should be good against anything that's not Emrakul land. Well, I could really use a Wasteland here. So let's go ahead and get Scrublands, loam these 2 back. Pass it back. There's the show and tell. Play Knight. Oh, it's Omniscience. That's not good. Yeah, this might happen a little faster than I want it to. Stock up. Sneak attack. That's interesting. Yeah. Whoa. They just completely bricked, I guess. That's crazy. Well, there's not really much point in loaming, I would say. Sylvan Library. I need to deal damage somehow. And how am I going to get this Omniscience out of here? There aren't enough colors for me to Prismatic Ending that. Alright, play Mazavith, cast Sylvan Library, pass it back. Fully expecting this to get countered for free. Yeah. Okay, your turn. I need to attack, but I guess I won't. I can like get Karakas at the end of this cycle if things still don't go well for them. Which I'm guessing if they had Omniscience active, yeah, they just don't really have anything to do right now. Sacrifice the Scrubland. Get Karakas. Yeah, maybe I will do that. And there's Gaddock Teague. I wanted that. Well, Time to start dealing lots of damage, I guess. I'm sure their hand is full of counter spells, right? Let's try and cast Grist. Yep. Yeah, the Wasteland lock doesn't really do much when they have Omniscience. Alright, there it is. I was wondering how long that was going to last. And yet, we can bounce with Caracas, but, they'll just cast it for free again. Alright, Disruptor Flute, Force of Vigor, Minsk and Boo for the bomb. Now, what did they side out? Oh yeah, it was Keen-Eyed Curator, Prismatic Ending, and Grist is kind of slow, but it is a removal spell. Swords to Plowshares is not terrible either. Oh wait, they did say to bring in Collect Roof to stop stuff like Lotus Petal, which when you're also using Disruptor Flute can actually be kind of a jam. But I remember them saying Punishing Fire was a little soft. And then I guess Swords is not really the right way to fight this. I think all of our other cards are just a little bit better. I will take the play once again. And this hand does have Disruptor Flute. No green mana. Am I not allowed to keep this? I feel like I'm not allowed to keep this. I'll go to 5. Yeah, alright. It's gonna be great. Do I need the Wasteland just to even be in this? I feel like I'm gonna curve Chalice into Liliana, and it's gonna be great. Your turn. I wish y'all could have seen the match versus Sneak and Show during our playtest session. That one went so much better. Mox Diamond, sure. Now I can beat Daze. Or if they Spell Pierce this, I'd be fine with that, I think. Consign? Okay, yeah, sure. Now let's play Chalice. On 1. Alright. We'll see if that helps. Lotus Petal. Magus of the Moon. Did I take out all the Punishing Fires? No, there's still one. Could also rip Mox Diamond. But yeah, this Liliana is looking a little rough. Oh boy. So it turns out Chalice on 0 would have been a better play. It's ironic. Stock up. Alright. Well, there's Mox Diamond. They'll force. I'm gonna hold the Baron more. Yep. Traxa. I think y'all can see where this one's going. I'll take one more draw, but geez. Yeah, I mean, this was a lot easier when my client was helping me guide, but also I don't think I had to mold a 5. Yeah, this has been a tough one. Alright. That was tough. Alright, we're gonna do one more tonight. I feel like Josh would tell me to mulligan this, but I'm kind of finding my own way right now. Kind of freestyling. And the great thing about MTG content is that when it goes horribly wrong, then it's like, oh, this is what you should not do. Alright, we might be up against Sneak and Show again. Could be tough. Especially since I don't have the Knight of the Reliquary to put in off Show and Tell. But we run 4, so I might top deck one. Not yet. Alright, let's Zenith for 0. And yeah. Oh, it totally is. It's cool that these days they stock up first. I like that. I guess I'll play Chalice on 1. Don't know how much it's gonna help. Hopefully a little bit. Maybe Chalice on 0 is better. I don't know. I might try it, because Chalice on 1 didn't do anything last time. Like, what am I hoping this will do? Turn off Brainstorm and Ponder? cards I actively want them to be spending their mana on now. Yep. I probably should have played Keen-Eyed Curator. Yeah, I probably should have done that. I think that would have been a lot better. Everyone knows I'm all about hitting for one, though, is the thing. I do it with Baleful Strix. Ancient Tomb. Sneak Attack. Wonder what is making this deck so popular right now. Well, I'm thinking we'll probably lose next turn. Knight. It's funny. Like, I can almost Prismatic Ending this Sneak Attack if this Urza Saga was a different land and I also had another land in my hand. So I guess I'm actually not that close to Prismatic Ending the Sneak Attack. Alright, go for it. Show me what's up. Cool. Damn. Another one? Sure, I'll look at more of your deck. Mistrized Village. Alright. This Brazen Borrower's been popping up pretty often, it seems. I'm not used to seeing Brazen Borrower in these decks. We'll side the same way. Hopefully don't lose to Magus of the Moon again. That was embarrassing. I hated it. I wonder, actually, Prismatic Ending is like, I'm seeing the uses for it, but I'm also feeling like Grist is pretty slow in this matchup. Keen-Eyed Curator could be a good clock, but it takes a lot of investment. And then there was some land that wasn't quite right. Could be one of the Wastelands. No. Now I'm leaning towards one of the Bowmasters, but that doesn't seem right. Actually, it probably is. It's like an okay clock. Do I need these both Force of Vigors too, I wonder? Maybe on the draw. Because like most of the time, if they resolve a sneak attack, you're not really going to have the window to like remove it and feel good about it. That last game was a pretty rare situation, I would say. Actually, that's too late. It's too late. Oh, Jesus. Jesus! Mulligan. This feels worse in some ways, but am I really gonna win going to 5? This happened last time, and I just didn't do anything. It was sad. I'm gonna waste lock and find a green source, yes. But first I'm gonna cycle this Baron more. Ugh. Basic Island, what is this shit? Sorry. My outbursts are becoming abrasive. I think I mentioned this in every video recently. I feel like I've getting sick has like made me kind of stupid, but I'm getting better. Yeah. First things first, probably play Chalice on 1, and then maybe they'll actually give me something I can wasteland. Alright, they force pitch Brainstorm. I'm kind of surprised they even care about that, but I'm glad all the same. Okay. I kind of get it now. They will shuffle. They'll play Ancient Tomb. Oh god. Stop. Okay. Jeez. I mean, this doesn't change all that much, honestly. Like, things could still get pretty bad soon. Swords. Wasteland you. I'm not sure if I want a Loam. I think I need to get a clock going. I also want to be ready for Magus of the Moon. Alright. Oh, things are looking up. Played Bowmasters. Knight. We're holding that. Some things I do remember. Alright, let's get a Taiga? No. Forest. Basic Forest. Yeah. Wait. Why can't I remember the things? I think I'll get a Scrubland so I can cast a Liliana. Pick these 3 lands up and represent white and black. So I can cycle Baron more if I don't need to swords. And I hope I don't need to swords, because that would mean something very wrong is happening. Uh-oh. Disruptor Flute. Are they going to name Baron more? I think I'd be okay with that. I think they're going to name a Wasteland. Yep. Okay. think doing the Life from the Loam thing is actually kind of dangerous now. Because what if I mill over something that I want to access with Knight? Cast Mox Diamond. I feel like I want to play this Knight of the Reliquary. Like, what if they just never cast Show and Tell, you know? I feel like having this clock is kind of important. I know the idea is that they can counter this, whereas Show and Tell will get it in. Alright, well, I think I'm seeing why I am not good at this deck and why Josh is. I talked myself into making a bad play. Because, yeah, they probably can't even beat Knight. They probably can't even beat Knight. Probably can't even beat Knight. But also, you know, I'm afraid of sneak attack. It's not just Show and Tell that they have to win with. Yeah. I think it's time for Chalice on 3. Is it? Is it time for Chalice on 3? That turns off Stock Up and Show and Tell. And all of my Knights of the Reliquary. Which, as we established, I will not be casting anyways. Boom! Now you're fucked. Gotta calm down. This is likely a sneak attack. Yeah. Who is it? Semracle. Can I come back from this? I'm gonna try. I want my clock. I think I have to lose this Chalice I put so much work into. I know, it's terrible. How many... Well... 4 mana either way for either Force of Vigor or Prismatic Ending. I can't preserve that. So I'm just going to have to kind of hope that they miss for a long time. I think I will Dredge, right? Get Maze of Ith, Badlands, Scrubland. And then I think I find Swords just as effective here, even though they'll gain a bunch of life. Like, I'm gonna have to Swords it eventually. Well, maybe not, actually. I don't think these Bowmasters are gonna win it for me, but who knows. I feel like my first Show and Tell opponent bricked for a really long time and when thought Omniscience was in play. So we'll see. Oh god. Yeah, alright. Jeez. Yeah, like I said, I wish you could have seen our training match where we totally beat this deck. I'm not lying. Alright, folks, we're back at it. With a Thoughtseize proof hand and a threat, technically. I feel like I'm not supposed to keep hands like this, but I feel like I'm off the deep end to an extent where we're just seeing what's out there, you know? We're doing experimenting, because I actually am realizing I feel completely lost without Josh. I needed Josh to tell me how to play this deck. And he's quite brilliant at it. We beat Sneak and Show. It happened. Holy crap, is this the mirror? Yes! Yes! This rules. Concession in 3, 2, 1. I don't remember if y'all remember the old Nikachu videos, but he'd be like on there with his brother, who would be like, sometimes would count down for concessions like that. It was very funny. Probably not very sporting, but I found it amusing. Wasteland you. Alright. Can still cycle this Baron more. Oh crap, they have another land. They're not going to Thoughtseize me again, I'll tell you that. Elvish Reclaimer? Yikes. This might be a Depths deck, though, which Wasteland is pretty good against. Green Sun Zenith. Okay. Bowmasters. Let's get this Saga online. Oh, you have Wasteland. I'll cast Bowmasters here. Somehow I doubt they play Loam is the thing. So I feel like we have some kind of long-term advantage if the game gets that weird. I'm not going to Zenith for a Dryad Arbor, I don't think. They'll attack. You got it. And that's all they got. Alright. Time to drop the Knights. Oh, that's cool too. There's no way it's better than Knight of the Reliquary, though, which is a whopping 6/6 in stats right now. It's pretty wild. All right, the all-land hand. It did it. It did it. I feel like I will need swords here. Disruptor Flute doesn't seem bad. They have a lot of activated abilities. Bowmaster's probably not the best. I feel like in these kind of slugfests, these Maverick mirrors, these Maverick adjacent mirrors, I should say, Minskin is not bad. And then Kaya can exile a Merit Lage or Elvish Reclaimer. A little more realistic. But what are the cuts? Maybe just 2 more Bowmasters. I mean, it's good against Mono Dorks, but Mono Creatures, excuse me. And then Punishing Fire is also gonna pick up that slack. I don't think we need Gaddock Teague. And Chalice also might be a little worse on the draw. Don't think I need Force of Vigor. Why did I bring this in again? I can't remember. Yeah, we'll try this. Also, Keen-Eyed Curator might not be the most necessary, but I can also see uses for it. Gotta feel like we're at least a little favored here. Leyline of the Void, very sage. I will not be loaming or punishing fire, but if I can trade this 1 for 1, I'll feel okay. Also, my Knight will probably be kind of small, but I think we're gonna have to be okay with that. I wonder if Chalice on 1 would be any good. Trying to think. Crop rotation. Yeah, there's stuff. Thoughtseize. Sure. Like, what do they want to take here? I have a lot of bombs. Like, maybe they're most concerned about Minskin, even though it's pretty up the curve. Maybe their hand collapses to Chalice. Maybe they want to take that. Maybe they want to play a Reclaimer out, so they'll take Punishing Fire. But that doesn't work, because I also have Prismatic Ending. This is actually a very well-rounded hand, I will say. I like it. They do take Minskin. I think that's wise. It is a very powerful card. How badly do I want to play around Wasteland? I think I'm willing to bin that one. Grist, not bad. The bombs keep coming. I love it. Let's try and protect Caracas a little bit here. Play this Chalice on 1. No crop rotation in response. So until they deal with that, I don't have to worry about Thoughtseize. I don't have to worry about Reclaimer. They do have White of the Reliquary, but I can Punishing Fire that. Barrenmore. Yeah, let's just take this out. I'm gonna have to win with Brute Force, though. Like, I don't really have the grinding power without my graveyard. But I'm also wondering, should I be working towards a Prismatic Ending on this Leyline? Does that make any sense? I don't know. I think we cycle this. Another Chalice. Savannah. Yeah, I could Prismatic End this Leyline. I just don't think it's super relevant. How dangerous is it for them to untap with this? I kind of want to get this Grist going. Or I could play a Chalice on 2. That's pretty funny. Now what will you play? Oh! That's actually really bad if they go after my Mortuary. Oh, they hit Caracas. Okay, so they are kind of planning towards a Merit Lage win, which makes sense. Thinking about it. Keen-Eyed Curator. Alright, let's end this. I think if I go like this, it will not be countered by Chalice. Great. Alright, cool. That was sick. I think I'm getting the hang of this. That has to be one of our better matchups, though, so... Cool. I mean, if I can pull off a positive record, I will feel very good, especially since I'm practically treating match 2 and 3 as wins, because, like I said, we won against Sneak and Show in our testing. Alright, final round. I'm on the play. A good place to be. Hand's a little sketchy, but there's a lot of lands in this deck. I'm even more likely to draw one than if I was playing Grixis Control. Yes. Opponent keeps 7. Gaddock Teague? That's gonna give something away, though. That'd be funny if it was the perfect card for the matchup. Yeah, probably would have been okay. Moonshadow? I don't think they're gonna appreciate a Chalice on 1, but I think playing Bowmasters here is a lot better. Pick that off. Send it back. Did not get dazed. Kind of interesting. Oh no. Oh no. Yep. Well, We're going to put this to the test. Really hoping we draw a land here. It's kind of a land. Alright. Didn't expect Wasteland to do so much damage. I wonder if I should play Chalice on 0. No, well, it's not like Mox Diamond's going to do anything for me from this point forward, but they probably play Mishra's Bauble. Then again, it's probably not that good into Bowmasters. I also realized this deck is pretty ultimate on the grind scale, because you can just cast Green Sun Zenith continually and never have to really worry about decking you can fail to find. It's kind of cool. Curious what they'll be taking here. Probably Chalice. It's probably pretty annoying. No, they take Liliana, and they have a fetch land. I don't think I want to trade all 3 of my permanents for a Moonshadow. They'll ponder, but I would trade Bowmasters and Army Token. I would do that. And I think I'm going to put the damage on Moonshadow, because they could still, like, you know, play a Bauble or something. Held off the attack. It's pretty cool. Ah, jeez. Alright, we'll play Chalice on 1. Daze. Kind of took a minute. I was not expecting that. That seems like a slam dunk line. Oh, can't block this anymore. It'll be a 4/4. Next turn I can play more Bowmasters and scale with it. But yeah, for now, I'm really just hoping I can get a land, I guess. That's good enough. Play Mox Diamond. Discard Tranquil Thicket. And then, sure, I'll cast Grist. They have a play. Sewers. So no Bowmasters. We know they still have an Underground Sea in their hand. They put a card on top. And then they'll Force of Will, pitching Likeness Looter. So we might expect Phyrexian Dreadnought in this deck as well. Well, that's too bad. I wanted that. Yeah, we'll slam for 3. Fatal Push my Dryad Arbor. They got 1 card left. They gotta ask the tough question. Can you race me? Jesus. I feel like the draws have been really awkward. If Punishing Fire could deliver the win next turn, that'd be sick. Another Moonshadow. That one's a little small. I'm hoping their last card's like a cantrip, like Brainstorm or something. And yeah, they're not attacking. That's sick. Nice. Nice. If I attack with this, is that a fine trade? No, they kind of grow each other. I think I'm just gonna hold back and chill. But I don't want to give them too much time. I should probably just Punishing Fire that Moonshadow. Thinking about it. They'll grow this one, but I think I can start to overrun them soon. And mana is tight. More Bowmasters. Okay. Yeah, I mean, if they block with Moonshadow, they block my army token, I can beat it. But I think I'd rather hold that Bowmasters. Force of Will is another card, or Thoughtseize is another card they could draw that they probably don't really want to. Gee. Tricky one. I think I have to do this. Like, this construct is not that great. I'd rather really start to overrun them here. Prismatic Ending is a nice draw. Land go. Punishing Fire. Can I just overrun them right now? No, not quite. It's so close. And I definitely don't want to draw another Mox Diamond, so let's just chuck that in the trash. If I swing out, they have to block a Bowmasters. Or I mean the army token. Then they go to 3. Yeah, whatever. Let's not. Alright. We got there. Extremely low resources. It's weird. I feel like we should be... That's funny. Having an easier time drawing lands in general. Like, we're playing 27, for goodness sakes. That's like half the deck. That's fine. Okay. Swords, Kaya, Minsk, and Boo. Toxic Deluge is probably okay. I think my creatures will be bigger than theirs on average. Well, that's not necessarily true. Bowmasters, Grist tokens, hamsters, a dentist. And then you always want to think that these are like graveyard decks, right? Yeah, I'll take like 1 Leyline. I like that. They're definitely a Bowmaster deck. I think Well, Sylvan Library is pretty important, isn't it? I think Gaddock T can go. They play Fatal Push, right? Something got Fatal Pushed. Yeah, Dryad Arbor. Chalice on the draw. Yeah, maybe no Deluge. No Caracas. But we still kind of want to play with Chalice, so maybe just 2 swords. And then trim 1 knight on the draw. How about Keen-Eyed Curator? No, no, no. Yes, 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 yeah. Okay. That's an easy target for Fatal Push, I think. Why do I have all these Punishing Fires, though? Those might not be very good. Yeah, this hand is pretty Thoughtseize proof. It ramps a Saga. Tameo. That would have been a reason to keep the other card. You know the one. Caracas. Okay. What's a better target for Wasteland? I guess since I have a backup white source here, but not a backup black source per se, play Savannah, play Mox Diamond, discard Grove of the Burn Willows. Or no, I'll just discard Tega. I think Grove is better in most circumstances because I kept all those Punishing Fires in. Alright. Maybe I should have played Saga, but I wanted to see if they were going to Wasteland me first. Marsh Flats go. That's very interesting. Yeah, they could be holding a Urza Saga, or a Wasteland. So I could try and bait that out with something else, like Dryad Arbor, I guess. Make it seem like I don't have that many lands, and they like push Dryad Arbor and Wasteland my Savannah, and then surprise, Urza Saga. Uh-oh. I wasn't thinking about him to Turok. I think I screwed up. Bowmasters? Sure. Alright. Play that out. I think I can largely invalidate Bowmasters with constructs, but also I need to dodge Wasteland. Alright, they're going to combat. Does that just mean they have Kaito? No. Kaito and Moonshadow in the same deck. One seems more aggressively slanted, but I did face a deck recently that was like that. Swords that. Likeness Looter. I really don't want to give up on making a Saga. Can I afford to take 7 here? I think so. I think getting on board is so important. It'll even out in the end because it might discourage attacks from the Bowmasters. That being said, they might be holding something like Fatal Push and they can just blow through my constructs. That would be bad. I wonder, is Leyline of the Void just really good against this deck? I kind of feel like it would be like bringing in Leyline against Grixis Control when you're just like, oh, yeah, I don't really care. Oh, also, I'm not playing Grixis Control. I exiled Moonshadow. This Likeness Looter is not going to become a Moonshadow, so that's cool. Oh, do they have Fatal Push? Hard to say. But this thing is a looter, so they will loot Moonshadow. I should probably remove that thing. Brainstorm. Let's make some dude. Draw. Loam. Yeah, I like it. Let's make some dude. Let's get a Mox Diamond. Discarding Grove. Play Scrubland. Prismatically end Saw. Around a Spell Pierce, no less. Force of Will. You got it. Alright, Loam. This stuff back. Can't play Saga this turn, sadly. Definitely double block this Likeness Looter. Or wait, no, it has flying. That's bad. Yeah, we might lose. Let's see. Should I start Loaming and look for Mazavith? That seems a little bad. I should have attacked. That was really bad. Go to 11. Ponder. I'm not sure how reliable looking for, Mazavith is going to be, because they could also have Wasteland or something like that. But 3 looks at an out feels a lot better than drawing off the top of my deck. I hit a Punishing Fire, that's cool. Play Saga. Cast Loam on these. Give them a life. Punishing Fire your Bowmasters. Crunch. Fatal Push. Okay. Yeah, maybe racing is a bad idea. Maybe I should be really looking for that life, or that, Mazavith. Yeah. Another Brainstorm. Bobble. They'll look at my top card. They'll attack for 8. I'm at 3. We'll go ahead and cycle this. Mill that. Ooh, swords. That could have been good. They'll draw. I feel like I'm looking at all my removal spells pretty much. I could hit, what's it called? Shieldred's Edict. Wasteland, that won't do it. Ah, I could still loam back Baron more and look for one more time. Cycle. Or should I... Yeah, maybe 3 is better than 1, huh? Oh my god, I probably would have hit. That's upsetting. But they probably had Force of Will, let's be real. Okay. Yeah, it doesn't, like... The order is not necessarily the order they were on top of the deck. I find that really trippy about Ponder. So yeah, just 3 cards hit my graveyard. Top of my deck could have been Shieldred's Edict if I didn't choose that replacement effect. We'll never know. Leyline of the Void feeling a lot better for some reason, and Punishing Fire feeling a lot worse. That turn 1 Chalice. I should aspire to that, I think. Liliana's pretty bad against Bowmasters the more I think about it. Let's go off Liliana and then take another Swords back. I'm playing Control. Oh, Caracas! Too late. Yes. I think that's a mulligan, right? There's my turn 1 Chalice. I think I bought him Grist. Yeah. I'd rather rely on Saga than Grist to do stuff, and I feel like I do need the ending, just in case something slips through. Like Likeness Looter. Okay, here we go. Saga. Mox Diamond. Discard Tega. Cast Chalice on 1. Ooh, it resolved. That's a good sign. Alright, don't wasteland me. Cool. Another Saga. I think I've spaced these out. This is not really helping my mental health, I will say. I have this conspiracy that people who play Saga always have like multiple copies near the top of their deck. And this deck only runs 2, and here they are. Conspiracy. Alright, still no play. No Hymn to Turok. Let's get our Forest. Make a construct. Hopefully draw a land. Yeah, that works. Shit! Ugh. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, everyone. I should have a construct right now. Should be a 5/5. We should be just, like, destroying everyone and everything with our incredible board. It's not to be. They'll buy some time with these Bowmasters. Out of respect for him, I think I'm just going to Prismatic end these Bowmasters. God damn. It's embarrassing. This whole time I was like, yeah, I really know how to do this Urza Saga stuff. No. Is this Likeness Looter? It is. We will have to race. And let me tell you, it'd be a lot closer of a race if I didn't screw up. That card's cool. If they ever try to make a Moonshadow with their Likeness Looter, I think Kaya can pick it off. If they want to put Moonshadow in the graveyard, they would have to tap it, though. And, like, I think if I were them, I'd just probably, like, cast it into the Chalice. But I'm not an expert. This Chalice is doing work. And like I said, I was going to mulligan to a Chalice on 1, on turn 1, and I did. I mean, it wasn't that hard of a decision, because the first hand was pretty sketch. It was like 2 Knight of the Reliquaries, Mox Diamond, and like 2 lands, I think. They have Wasteland. Well, there goes that cool card. If I draw a land, I can play around Daze. Well, some lands. Yeah, that'll do. Alright. Let us slam. Shieldred's Edict. Yeah, buy some time. They are buying tons of time that they should not have, because I should have another construct. I really screwed that up, didn't I? Play Kaya. Pick that off. I'm glad Kaya got to show up for the final game of this league. Toxic Deluge X equals 4, sure. Now we're just hoping Kaya can finish the job here. Hopefully they don't have another Edict. That can surveil. Let's get Moonshadow and Edict, I guess. I'll gain 2 life. They have 4 cards in exile. If we can get that number up to 7, this ultimate will be one-hit shit. Alright, let's surveil. I could have also gotten Dryad Arbor. Been that. Wasteland, sure. Hit that. Maybe I won't worry about Baraglyph as much here. The clock is ticking. That's 6 cards in exile. With 1 more activation, it will be 8. What do I draw? Bowmasters, not bad. If the Kaya plan doesn't work, that is a threat. I'm kind of thinking like what they could have. Maybe Stifle? Well, they're going to make me do it. Play Bowmasters. I don't want to lose my Kaya if this doesn't work. A Chalice? Nah, come on. We're doing it. Alright. I got a positive record. We lost the same matchup twice, which I don't know if I mentioned this, but in our training sessions, we totally beat Sneak and Show. Oh, Josh, thank you so much for giving me the opportunity to do this. I love 4-color Loam. It was kind of a mythical and very intriguing deck when I first started playing Legacy, but even when I started, it was kind of on its way out in terms of popularity. It was around a little bit, but like I don't really have much experience even playing against the deck. So that's sad to me. I'm glad to see that there's at least one person who's extremely passionate about it, and for good reason. Like, we went 3-2, and I'm terrible at this deck. Josh often sends me results of his leagues, and he's going 4-1, 3-2 at baseline, and it's so much fun. It has so much play to it. It can do so many things. It's highly customizable, but I think what he's landed on here is extremely, yeah, like I said in the deck tech, relevant, displays a lot of format knowledge, and he even gave me a Minskin Boo for fun, because that was a card I was like, yo, this card, we gotta have this card. And he was like, yeah, it's okay. You can usually win without something so dramatic. So I really appreciate him throwing me this Minskin Boo. That was great. Huh. And we got to do a Kaya Ultimate. Really interesting stuff. We beat Cephalid Breakfast, Depths, what I'm assuming is Depths, and then practically Blue-Black Tempo. We saw a Tameo in there, so I'm counting it. Cool. Well, thanks so much for tuning in. I think this was a really fun video. And if you want to submit your own donation list, check out the Patreon. Like, comment, subscribe. If you want to see more 4-color Loam, let me know. I love this deck. I love it so much. And I'll see you next time.